Prudent and provident watching and hope characterize the tenor of today's liturgy as we approach the end of the church year. Endings sometimes lead us to be less careful, less prudent, less attentive to details, and less concerned with the finer elements of processes and procedures. Endings somehow make us a bit more careless. At times, the thought that something will soon end can lead us to cut corners and throw all caution to the winds, as they say. Let's just get it over and done with, a phrase that is often heard from people who have loosened their grip on things when the vitality of the beginning has worn off. But the dying moments of a game, as every athlete knows, are a critical time. These ending moments are a make or break situation. One simply cannot discount the last waning seconds. Anybody doing anything worthwhile as competing and waiting for something of momentous importance, as expecting and hoping for a favor from the Lord, needs a lot of wisdom, prudence, and tireless, provident, forward-looking watching. Endings really are disguised beginnings that need to be prepared for wisely and well. It is good for us to be reminded of the need for wisdom as we navigate through these muddled times of ours. Immersed as we all are in a culture that prizes highly, almost exclusively, the here and the now, the currently productive, the materially rewarding, and the personally fulfilling object of our strivings, we find it difficult to engage in hopeful waiting. Postmodern women and men do not automatically set their sights on what is not palpable, what is not within easy reach, whatever needs a whole lot of mental stretching and abstracting from a world of concrete rewards and consolations. Hopeful waiting is not a popular virtue. In this world of instant noodles, instant digital pictures, instant text messages anywhere around the globe, how often have we postponed writing that postcard, let alone a letter, all because we can get in touch with someone anyway, by phone, or by messenger, or by chat in real time? How often have we put off doing anything because the modern means of information and communication technology anyway will come to our rescue any time of day and night? Funny, but the 5 foolish virgins who did not bring extra oil, who acted thus so improvident and imprudent, remind me of people who go for an out-of-town trip to an out-of-the-way forsaken place and who carry no cash because they have their ATM cards or credit or debit cards with them. Those 5 foolish girls were not called foolish for nothing. They thought they could always go to an equivalent of a 7-Eleven convenience store and procure oil in the middle of the night. They acted unwisely by not being forward-looking in their simple, basically uncomplicated task of waiting for the bridegroom's coming. They lacked a prudent and provident heart, both unmistakable signs of one who wisely understands what he or she is watching or waiting for. Perhaps a modern equivalent of these now unpopular concepts as prudent and provident watchfulness is mindfulness. It means being alert and awake, aware of what is going on at any given time. It means being properly conscientized, fully in touch with the goings-on, with what transpires in all aspects of life. It refers to being fully alive, fully kept abreast of reality as it is, not as one thinks it is. Today, ironically, in the age of new information and communication technology, people may know a lot. They are highly informed, but they are not necessarily fully aware. We are witnessing daily cases of information overload. People are well informed about isolated facets of human living, but are not aware of the bigger picture of what the world is undergoing. There are those of us who know all the details about basketball and football matches of our favorite teams, but are not in the least conscious about the glaring situations of injustice close to where we live, let alone the whole world. Well-informed people are really living in utter ignorance of so many things in life. The demon of over-specialization has taken so many of us as virtual prisoners of highly focused and highly specialized knowledge. For many of us, we miss the forest for a few trees. Some even raise a hue and a cry at the perceived injustice suffered by their favorite sports teams, but nary a cry or a whimper is heard from the same people at the sight of the deaths of innocent but poor, insignificant, and nameless people. Years ago, people worried that Scottie Pippen was getting a raw deal because he was receiving far less than the most popular member of a particular team. But these same people never questioned the unjust and unfair wages received by children who worked or were exploited at sweatshops in third world countries. What a pitiful lack of mindfulness and awareness. This situation is no different from that state of utter lack of prudent and provident watchfulness of the 5 foolish virgins that the gospel today speaks about. We all could use a little more wisdom, the kind that the first reading talks about. The writer of the book of the same title makes it clear that the Lord gives the gift of wisdom to those who keep vigil for her sake. Taking thought of wisdom, it goes on, is the perfection of prudence. Possession of it leads us to that state of mindfulness that is bound to characterize a heart on watch. This mindfulness and watchfulness of the heart would then produce in us not fear, nor anxiety, nor carelessness, nor laziness, vis-a-vis the fact that we know neither the day nor the hour, but hopeful, expectant vigilance. This is the vigilance of a tired sentry who would readily fire his gun because of fright, but that of a trustful child who waits patiently, prudently, and providently for something he or she is sure to get, sooner or later, from an equally wise and provident father or mother. Together with the 5 wise virgins, we, as church, are ever waiting in the spirit of mindfulness and watchfulness, ready with trim lamps in hand to meet the bridegroom. This Mass here and now is one such activity of patient waiting, prudent watching, and mindful hoping for the fulfillment of the messianic vision of the heavenly wedding banquet to which all of us are invited. And this, my dear friends, is your Kalakbay at Katoto in this week's episode of Puso sa Puso, saying thank you and God bless you.